Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotion, and thank you so much again for being with us all day today and tomorrow and all of the services here at Main Campus and South Campus and East Campus. I'm going to be teaching you about when God says no, and I'm going to show you how that God's no's, and sometimes there are multiple no's, will lead us to his great big yeses. So we'll have a great time in the book of Acts today. But right now, I want to bring you back to one of those repetitive things in the Bible. When you see something spoken again and again and again, you need to take notice of it. In our reading today, we start in Judges chapter 18, verse 1. In those days, Israel had no king. Now, as you continue reading today, you're going to get to chapter 19, verse 1. In those days, Israel had no king. And then you're going to close out the book of Judges in chapter 21, verse 25. In those days, Israel had no king. Everyone did as he saw fit. Everyone did as he saw fit. Everyone did as he saw fit. God puts leadership in our lives because, forgive me, if we're going to function together as a family, if we're going to function together as a local church, if we're going to function together as a nation, God has to put leaders, and we all can't do whatever we see fit to do. We have to understand that our rights end where the next person's begin. Now, oftentimes you'll hear me, because I get frustrated by all the pedicabs and the tricycle drivers on General Luna that pay no attention to any laws. Well, they're a perfect illustration of people who, in their poverty, think that they have the right to do whatever they want to do because they're poor. No, that doesn't work. In the same way, it doesn't work that a rich person drives down a street the wrong way in Makati with his gold-plated Mercedes-Benz, and because he's rich, he thinks he can do what he wants to do. Each one of us has to learn that God puts leadership in our lives, and these leaders tell us things to do and they tell us not things to do so that we can all work together, so that there can be a cohesive team effort. Now, sometimes in the Philippines, we've got a little rebellion down on the inside of us. And I don't say that in a bad way. You know, we're a nation that's never been completely conquered in our entire history. I mean, there's been nations that have occupied us, but they've never completely conquered us. We are a people that just wants to do our own thing. And that's all right to a point. And that's good to a point. It gives us great creativity. It gives us great entrepreneurship. But we also have to understand that if we are going to function as a nation, as a church, if we're going to function as a church, as a family, if you're going to function as a family, there has to be leadership. And we have to be willing to submit to that leadership if we are going to work together, because we are greater together than we are alone. Now, please remember that truth. As individuals, we are a lamp, but a local church is called a lampstand. All the lamps go together. We're greater together than we are alone. As individuals, we're called a member of the body, but together we form the body. We're greater together than we are alone. As individuals, we're called a living stone, but together we become the new covenant holy of holies. We're greater together than we are alone. An individual is great, but we're greater together than we are alone. So let's recognize that we need some leadership, and we all can't do whatever we see right and fit to do.